it's not surprising to me that you're doing well in comedy, because I think people hit two problems with language. One, they're not willing to even speak. And then the second thing is that sometimes you have people who are willing to speak, but they're not really being themselves in the second language.
I think so, because everybody I love, they left me, so I have nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose.
You know what? That's what I got. You want to leave? You.
Yeah. And that energy is the sort of thing that's going to drive you through that hard stuff. Because there's two types of people that make it in performance. One is the people that have enough money, they can just kind of like keep doing it slowly forever, and eventually they just know everybody and they're okay. And the second type are the people who like have everything to lose. They've staked it all. This is I can dance, that's the only thing I can do. I have no backup plan. So what has it been like sort of seeing both the social media followers going up and getting into bigger clubs and being able to do your own shows and headlining it? What has that really changed in the way that you've like looked at things?
I think my work ethic with my people skill both helped me. Because I am very grateful. If you help me, I'll be grateful. A lot of people in the business as an artist, they are very spacey. Somebody literally launched their career. They don't even talk to them anymore. Those people lose in a long run, because there's a lot of talents. If I helped you, you don't have to suck my but like I want you to at least say hi, or during the holidays send a card, or just this shows when you are in public. When you talk about your journey, mention my name. You don't have to be like, oh, just mention, like I talk about John Singleton because he was there for me. He told me like nobody, sometimes he help people whose big stars are, they don't talk about. They just like, oh, I guess I woke up, I decided something. I don't do that. If you help me.
That appreciation goes a long way. Like, because it's like, I think also, especially when you get to a point in life where you're like, I want to help people. Like, if you want to be able to help people, really all you're asking for is just for a thank you.
Open the door,
open the door.
You.
Also, like, it's like, if for the people who are actually going to run and do it, like, he can open the door, he can't write your jokes.
No.
It has to be you doing the work. So it's like, it's actually kind of easy for people to, it's a lot easier than people might think to say, let me help you out, let me help you out. But you have to be the person who's going to like run through the wall. So that when you do succeed on the other end of it, you can say, oh, thank you so much. That was a big deal. I mean, that's why I always like, even now, like, I always tell people, it's hard in Hollywood, but in China, I always still, first introduction, who are you? I say, I'm Ding Guangquan, the 徒弟. I'm Master Ding's disciple. Master Ding gave me this fan.
It's gorgeous.
对，爱杰西弟子 拜师留念.
Oh, that's the
Ding Guangquan. So this is when I apprenticed to Master Ding, he wrote this calligraphy himself.
Oh, beautiful.
弄月朝风. So 弄月 is like, joke the moon and satirize the wind. The idea as a comedian, you want to be able to talk about everything. 风月 风月之间都是内容，都是素材。
It's so beautiful. Yes, Jesse, I really felt like, it goes a long way to show your appreciation. Like, for example, like I'm some people who kind of encouraged me even. I always remember the act of kindness, because the world is very cruel. And one of the, I don't want to be a but I think I'm very smart.
You could be smart without being a
people just don't respect my intelligence because I have an accent. They were like, oh, she's a massage whore. I wish I can be, I'll make more money, but I'm not.
That's the easy money. You've got the hard money. No, the comedy money is never the easy money.
It's hard. So I'm actually very intelligent. Bitches, stop trying to fuck with me. You're gonna get
wrecked.
Lose.
You're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose.
And it's gonna be painful and embarrassing.
You asshole. Don't
the whole time.
Bitches, don't try to undermine my intelligence.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm smart because I realized that because I rise so fast in Los Angeles. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like I can be a regular at Love Factory. But it just
you got to figure out. You're at a point where actually, like a lot of people here, they chase what they think they're supposed to want. But then if you actually get to a point where you start to get stuff, then you actually need to realize like, oh, I need to actually know what I want. I can't just like blindly do stuff. And that was one of the things that I saw in China was like you would have people that they're like, I want to be on this big show, and then they'd get it, and then they basically just work for a talent company, and then they just do KFC commercials. And they and that's not bad. Like, good, get your money. You KFC, fantastic chicken. But like the reason it stops and then eventually usually it kind of like peters out is because they mistook the, they say, oh, if I want to be a comedian, I want to be a regular at the Laugh Factory or whatever. And they forget that like, well, the point of it is not just to show up at a room every day.
No.
You know, you have to have a reason why you want to get there.
Yeah.
So what was, for you, for the comedy, what's the reason that you want to get there, that you can say, yes, I want that opportunity, I don't want that opportunity?
I think it was very funny. My first month doing open mic, when I was on my knees cleaning the bathroom, because I said, my mom always tell me, you open a place, the cleanest place should be the toilet. You should be able to drink that water. That's how clean that should be.
That's your mom's, opening a comedy club 101, according to your mom.
We grew up in a restaurant, so she's the business owner, so I know business.
Yeah.
So I always want to make sure things are, because comedy clubs are disgusting, you know. So I want to make sure everything's clean and nice. I was in the bathroom cleaning the toilet. I was just looking into myself in the mirror. It was like my first month. I said, I want to be the first Chinese comedian to ever play the Apollo Theater, to headline, to do 1 hour and get a standing ovation.
And then they're like, that's the goal. Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah, I did it in 4 years.
4 years, so you had an extra year on it.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
So that happened, and to that moment, I every day. The Apollo.
Cheers.
So that was a goal and impossible. The only woman who did it was Phyllis Diller. She did Carnegie Hall in 6 years. She performed at Carnegie Hall, 6 years in comedy.
What was it like performing at the Apollo?
It was such a battle. I fought hard for it. If I do it again, I won't do it. I guess I will still do it because I'm me. But it was so difficult in every single way. I did not get any sponsors. I had the ticket link very late. They didn't give me until 2 months before the show. It's 1,600 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of tickets to sell.
You are gonna do it. If you are doing the Apollo, you better sell the bitch out or don't do it. So I need to pull the plug or do it.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it.
But that's a hard way to do it. That was not the easy way.
I made it happen.
You made it happen.
I got a standing ovation. I got all of the important people there.
There we go.
And Rosario Dawson came with her mask to support me because she's the queen of East Village. You know, she came. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But I think because I want to do that in 5 years, so every single day I work towards that. Is that if I do 1 open mic, that's not enough. I do 10. I get home, I still write more. Then I tape a little joke on camera for TikTok. That was right before pandemic. And when I closed my club, there's a pandemic, I have a choice. My ex-husband is like, I'm not paying for this shit. Because you are not funny, you don't speak English, you're not doing this. So I remember driving to the Real on La Cienega to sell my Birkin bags. So I can keep the club alive. So I sold the 5 Birkin bags to be paying the rent.
There we go. That's the real joke. So if you're ever sitting in a comedy club, people think like, oh, a comedy club make money. Comedy club's a horrible business.
No, you don't.
It's a horrible business. And I say this as somebody who loves comedy clubs. I didn't have any Birkin bags to sell, but we did make a little bit of money from the tickets and stuff like that. But it's not an easy business. And
no,
so
it's very hard.
You were like, so you were in, and so do you feel like? I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have rather sold those bags, but like, do you feel like making the sale and you're like, I sold it, I'm in, you know, I'm committed.
Yeah, I didn't care about the bags.
You didn't care about the bags.
I'll sell my kids if I had to. I'm kidding. I'm doing that so I can give them a good life.
That is good. Yeah.
So I sold the bags and I realized that I would never get respect in Los Angeles because people see me starting up here. People remember it was yesterday I was open micing. They don't believe because nobody has ever done this. Nobody has becoming a national headliner in 2 years, 3 years. You don't.
That's not the way it works.
Sell tickets.
But also the world is different now, and that's because of the internet.